What's the chick?
The economy is roaring. The ISIS caliphate is defeated 100%. And after 3 years of lies and smears and slander, the Russia hoax is finally dead. The collusion delusion is over. The special counsel completed its report and found no collusion and no obstruction. I could have told you that 2.5 years ago very easily. The Russia witch hunt was a plan by those who lost the election to try and illegally regain power by framing innocent Americans, many of them. They suffered with an elaborate hoax.
Wow.
This was nothing more than a sinister effort to undermine our historic election victory and to sabotage the will of the American people. Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. He's got the smallest, thinnest neck I've ever seen.
Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Here we are on the V channel. That was Donald Trump spelling out what is clearly a conspiracy theory. The Russia hoax, the Russiagate. Oh, the most elaborate hoax. The most elaborate hoax ever perpetrated to the American people. Is it the most elaborate? It's one of them. It's one of them. The Democrats were very, very strong in trying to convince the world that Russia had hacked our elections. That Russia, that Donald J. Trump and Bernie Sanders were doing the bidding of Russia. Right? Why do I talk about that? Because that, if you had to pick one of the greatest conspiracy theories in our lifetime, it was that. And what was the consequence to yakking and pushing that conspiracy theory? Zip, zero, nada, no consequence whatsoever. In fact, you were patted on the back for advancing the idea of Russiagate. So, Mark's Conte reporting. I want to talk about the massive, massive censorship that we are living under right now. Right? It's just there's no winning it. Right? I know people. There's a couple of. I'll show you an example of some of the QAnon folks, the people that somehow, some way, at some time in their YouTube history, they talked about QAnon. Some very, very seriously, and some just matter of factly. But they showed an interest in believing it, or promoting it as if it could be true, and all of those people are gone and have since, some of them have sued. But you talk about how to get back at them, or how to fight a sort of censorship like this, and as I've always said on this channel, I've always said it. Your biggest enemy is big business. It's giant corporations, monopolies that don't answer to anyone. United States government right now, Ted Cruz leading the charge. They want to charge Google, Facebook, Twitter with antitrust violations. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, because they're not going to. What they do is they have a whole bunch of rules. They get a basket of rules. Oh yeah, nudity, sexual content, or conspiracy theory that doesn't mesh with the mainstream, right? That's what they tell you, right? I played the video yesterday. I got to get that video back because they blocked it or whatever, they knocked it off. But I'm trying not to let it get me down. I try not to take it personal. I don't think I'm a bad person, although that is the intention. The intention of censorship is to is to yank you and accuse you of something. And then you're supposed to feel guilty for that and change your behavior. You're supposed to correct your behavior. Oh, yes, I agree, YouTube. And you see so many examples of it, so many watered down versions of what people used to be. Right? I'm not going to name names, but you know who they are. They will adjust what they're going to say. Now, is this they adjust what they're going to say so that they can skate around, swerve around the YouTube censorship. Now, is that's self-censorship? You're not saying, you're not professing what's on your mind, right? You're kind of you're playing the game, right? You're being censored. You're being censored, and then I can't do it. I can't do it. So what I speculate is that this particular platform that we're on right now will, as all things fail, this will fail. It'll fail not in a new age cultural boom kind of way. It won't fail because it doesn't care about that. These platforms don't care about free speech. They don't care about truth. They don't care about you, the people trying to get that free speech and truth. They don't care about that. They care about the money. And the money is promoting conspiracy theory. And the object is to take the conspiracy theory that they're promoting and make it fact, and make your facts the conspiracy theory. It's a bait and switch, right? And that's what monopoly does, right? Because whoever controls the narrative controls the day. And that is that's just a sad reality, you know. It's just a sad place to be. Should we stop? Should I just go away? No, I mean I'm still here, you know. Still, we're plugging away, right? And it is interesting. So I want to I'll tell you what happened yesterday with the I put it up on the website and on my website, but I'll tell you more about it. We'll talk about it right now. So marcusconte.com. If ever, like I said, if ever we're purged, I don't know how many people found us. How many people? All right, so we got 50 people. All right, people found us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on over. If anybody could kindly just share these videos so people know where we are, because I don't know if all of our subscribership is subscribed to both channels. But anyway. I'm trying not to make this about me and this channel, and who the fuck wants to hear that shit, right? It's not about me. I'm just one guy. I'm one guy supported by all of you, and I try to stay in the truth. And I read the comments, and when wrong, I try to promptly admit it. Right? I try to clarify, right? Because I don't know everything. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I know truth. I have good instincts. I have, fairly good common sense. And but here's what happened yesterday. So yesterday we were on the show and we did there was a clip in perfect context, in news context, of Hunter Biden jacking off and smoking crack with a hooker. Now, it has nothing to do with jacking off and a hooker. It has to do with Hunter Biden. Why is Hunter Biden being, why such a visceral, vile attack, to independent content creator on YouTube? Because he's the president's son. He's the former vice president's son, and we are in an election year. We got a week, a few days, like a few fucking days, and that's just the way it is, right? What you're saying is fucking bullshit, according to them. And what they're saying is the truth, right? That Hunter Biden, what are you going to do? The video's there. You could see the goddamn video. Don't you think, as a free press, that people should be allowed to see it and see what kind of sleazebag this guy is, right? This is his son, right? They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right? And Joe Biden has a long history of groping young women, sniffing people's hair. They're deviant, right? He's a fucking deviant, right? And his son is no different, right? He's sitting there jerking off, smoking crack, pounding a hooker. Right? Guy's a sleazebag, right? Crackhead. Right? So people need to see that. I mean, literally, the stem in one hand, his dick in the other, the hooker in the background. What a great image. Now, is that sexually? Well, let's read. So that video had that little clip, that little piece in there yesterday, and our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our sex and nudity policy. All right. We remove the following content. Great. Removing is one thing. Banning and striking a channel where you're one step away from pulling the plug is another thing. Now, we know this might be disappointing. Not really. It's disappointing. I guess it is disappointing that there is no recourse. There is no appeal to these things. You can appeal all you want, and you see what they don't answer you. They just give you a formula. Well, we considered it. I think that's what this is. When they said it, right? So our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, that's all they ever say. Right? If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal, and we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. Right? They never, ever flip, unless you sue them, and then that's expensive and time-consuming, and some people are doing it. But I just say let them fall. You know what I mean? Like if the food sucks in a restaurant, don't go back. Just what are you gonna do? Sue them for bad food? No, just walk away. Right? I mean, it's easier said than done because they are the public square. So here, listen to this. How your content violated the policy. Listen to this. Graphic sexual content that is meant to sexually gratify is not allowed on YouTube. So what the fuck is sexually gratifying about some crackhead jerking off with a hooker? It's certainly not to this straight male. And was my intention to put up sexually gratifying stuff, or was it a news piece? A simple look at this guy, he's fucking crazy. Was I sexually aroused? I mean, it doesn't even make sense, right? It falls short right there. We review educational, documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. What could be more educational with 5 days before an election to learn about the guy who's running for the presidency, Joe Biden, and his family? Right? How many years? 3.5, 4 years of trying to smear Trump's kids. No scandal. Amazingly, they're almost like scandal free, right? The whole bunch of them, right? Where's the scandal? Where's the crack whores and the fucking crackheads? Right? All those kids, right? All of Trump's kids. No, there's no scandal. Very little, right? You could say whatever you want about them, but look at even the Bush kids, right? Even Obama's kid, the chick smoking pot at the concert. Remember one of Obama's kids smoking a joint at the concert? They caught that shit. Nothing with Trump's kids. Nothing. All right. So, but anyway, we review educational documentary. Blah, blah, blah. Limited exceptions are made for content with sufficient and appropriate context, and where the purpose of posting is clear. How much more sufficient and appropriate context could I have given, saying that this is that this is the son of the vice president of the United States running for the presidency? There was no sexual content whatsoever implied. No sexuality or any of that shit implied. Right? The purpose was clear. My purpose was clear to present news in a dignified way, and the video was restricted to age 18. I did that myself. I did it on the show. So where exactly was the policy violated? There's no policy against showing educational, documentary, artistic, or scientific content if it's nudity, right? That's what you're doing. You're saying, look at this freak behavior. Look at this fucking freak behavior. That's not sexually arousing. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not what that is. It's the opposite of that shit. So anyway, how this affects your channel? Oh, my channel. Oh man, make me afraid. Make me afraid that you're gonna pull the plug on me and bang me into subordination, right? That's what you want to do, right? That's what you want to do, YouTube. You want to force compliance, right? That's a totalitarian situation, right? That's authoritarian. And it results from what? From monopoly. They own the fucking thing. YouTube started as a private little shit club, shit video place, and then Google bought it and turned it into a monster. Turned it into the Amazon of online fucking social media, right? And we all thought, oh, good, this is great. Oh, this is great, right? We're all fucking famous now. We're all getting heard. And then slowly but surely, they shut it down. I think it peaked. I would say that the online hysteria probably peaked around 2015 and really swelled going into that last election. But where's the swell now? You don't see it. So these campaigns are extremely effective, extremely. So your channel now has two strikes. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 2 weeks on the A channel, the channel where most of the viewers are, and almost all the videos are, 1,000 videos. 3 strikes in the same 90-day period will result in your channel being permanently removed from YouTube. So that's probably what they're going to try to do. They're probably going to, get rid of the whole fucking thing, right? That's a shame, right? All that work. Right? And you say to yourself, what should I have done? Because that's what the mind says. What should I have done differently? What should I have been? Should I have been better? Should I have been fall in line more? No, my show is about visceral truth. My show is about common sense truth. That's what it is. And if I can't do that, then I'm not doing my show. I'm not doing what I do. I didn't start that way. This is what it evolved to. Right? And so people like me, it really is what they're saying. Is like this has nothing to do with nudity or crack stems or hookers. This has to do with the fact that the guy is the son of someone running for the presidency. And it couldn't be more clear. That's what it is, right? So that's the state of the purge. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So again, whenever we get taken down like this, always just go to the website, marcusconte.com. And I'll put an update over here. Hopefully, I imagine the website is secure. Can they take that too? Does fucking Google own that too? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not going away. Kindly also I'll try to put that deleted video on BitChute. What they do is when they delete a video or they freeze a video or they strike your channel, they prevent you from actually downloading the video that you made, your own video. So you got to do a little slick workaround to get the video that you made, your video, and post it somewhere else. It's real fucking, it's crazy, right? So again, I'm not going anywhere. Tip jar, kindly throw some coin in there, and Patreon. Wherever we go, there we will be, right? And I was looking at Benjamin Owen's site, and he has this paywall and subscription ship and all that shit. I don't know if I want to go in that direction. I just want to have a free and fair tip jar oriented kind of existence where we just put out the truth and let the truth grow. I believe in that. I believe that that's the way to do it, and it is the way to do it. It always has been. It's just in this current environment, it's not tolerated because of the monopoly. So here's the New York Times. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning, Vinny DiMartini is here. Sterling Price, thank you to a pair of wrenches. Sterling Price says BitChute is censoring two now. I know. They're getting pressure. BitChute's getting pressure. Everybody's getting pressured. That's the problem. When you have monopoly, you have very, very, very powerful people in the background. They'll say, okay, BitChute, where do they? You can put whatever you want up there, but if you don't conform to what we're saying, conform to the establishment, then we'll find ways to make your fucking existence difficult too. We'll go after your the people that your BitChute fucking thing is connected to that pumps out the information. I don't know what it is, but your servers. We'll go after your servers. We'll shut you down. And that's the pressure that smaller companies get placed under. It's actually, I mean, the terminology on Wall Street is it's a hostile takeover. They don't say, hey, we'd like to buy you, and we'd like you to join us in our endeavor. No, they fucking try to crush you. They crush you, and then when you're on your knees, they try to buy you for a lower price, a stock share. That's called an aggressive, a hostile takeover, and that's clearly what these platforms are doing: hostile takeover of people. Just shut them down, right, without any recourse. People with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, eager fans wanting to hear what the person has to say, and they just shut them down. So Twitter. This is the New York Post reporting. So New York Post, supposed to be a mainstream outlet, got censored as well. Twitter is running a blackmail operation. Cooperate or no traffic for you. That's right. For all the things that we should be talking about in this world, see where they put us? We have to talk about their fucking dirty laundry. Rather than talk about today how Trump is on the rise, talk about the statistics, talk about the fake polls, talk about the crazy shooting yesterday. No, you got to talk about them, right? And bow your fucking head, or you won't be here. That's sick. It's a sick world. It's 1984. It's also Animal Farm. I'll read a couple of clips in a second. For all their talk about neutral platforms, the big shots of big tech, Twitter, Facebook, Google, are running a protection racket. Ooh, a racket. They figure they can dictate what Americans get to see and read and what other media companies must do to reach the public via their platform. Yep, that's what they're doing. It's a clear threat to a healthy democracy. Better late than never, New York Post. Only when it hits them. Oh, yeah, now. If it didn't hit them, they wouldn't be fucking complaining. You got to complain when it hits people, right? When it hits... What about all the QAnon people? All those people. I didn't hear the Post... They wrote a sarcastic ad, like they just filled in the vacuum. They filled in the power void. They didn't go to bat for no fucking Jordan Sather or Amazing Polly. They just let him die. It's clear. It's a clear threat to a healthy democracy. And Congress has noticed. On Wednesday, the Senate launched a hearing to investigate big tech's bad behavior. Ooh, give them a little smack on the wrist. Oh, you're very bad. Do our bidding and you won't be so bad. Right? We don't like the way you're bidding. Bid for us and then you won't be so bad. Politicians are corrupt too. Center stage, Twitter's strong-arm tactics to censor the Post ever since we began reporting on Hunter Biden's emails. Oh, that's what it is, right? It's Hunter Biden stuff, right? It's you can't talk about that, right? It's not you can't talk about now we're not talking about COVID-19, right? They figured, as I said, this has been a very, very, very effective 2020 censorship campaign. It has worked. There's really no swell. There's no online swell anymore. Remember in 2016, you go on Facebook and everybody's chatting and talking and passing shit around and Twitter, blah, 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 right? Especially during the primary where they were trying to get Bernie Sanders. That's the only reason Bernie Sanders was so out in front, and because of the social media presence. Everybody was pulling for Bernie, right? And once Bernie got shut down, it shifted to Trump, right? Democrats fucked up. They elevated all the angry people in the country that knew that they got robbed, elevated Trump. Right? And it was done through social media. And social media this time says, nah, we're bigger than that. We're not gonna allow that to happen again. We will shut you down and deal with it after the election, right? Because they have an interest in this election, right? Who knows where their cards are, where their money is, where their money, what cards they have their money on. That's what I was trying to say. So, center stage, Twitter's strong-arm tactics to censor the post ever since we began reporting on Hunter Biden's emails. First, it froze our account and banned our stories. Then, amid a public backlash, it agreed to unfreeze us, but only if we deleted our original tweets. So, the New York Post revealed absolutely true, stuff, right? And more is coming out, more and more and more. These porno videos, or what jerking off videos. That's not a porn. That's not a sexually arousing porn. It's not what it is. It's a deviant. You're watching, you're observing deviant behavior at the highest level. Right? Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey sounded like every mob enforcer and shakedown artist in history. Nice paper you got there, New York Post. Shame should something happen to it. He knows full well media outlets depend on social media and Google search algorithms to help readers access our reporting. Yeah, try to Google me. You get thrown into the dungeon, right? And I bet you outside of my viewership, you couldn't even find me. You don't even know I exist. They systematically prevent you from growing, from hitting an audience. That's how powerful they are. Right? That's how powerful they are. They say in the old days, if you had talent and you were good, you rose up. You rose to the top of the ranks. Today, it's what Google search engine decides goes up, and it's all establishment. It's watered down bullshit. Senator Ted Cruz wasn't fooled. Mr. Dorsey, who the hell elected you? This is Ted Cruz saying this to Dorsey, CEO of Twitter. Mr. Dorsey, who the hell elected you and put you in charge of what the media are allowed to report and what the American people are allowed to hear? He thundered. Why do you persist in behaving as a Democratic super PAC, silencing views to the contrary of your political beliefs? Well, I don't know if it's contrary to Twitter's political beliefs, Mr. Cruz. I think that it's not. It's not. So Dorsey tried to claim it was all a mistake that had been fixed. But the Post account remained locked, even as he spoke. They shut down the New York Post on Twitter. The New York fucking Post is not allowed to have an opinion. Can you imagine that shit? That's why they have no respect for us. Us, they just, little people just get thrown into the fucking dungeon. You get really 2-week dungeon. Try to fight back. Good luck. Get a team of lawyers. The Post probably has 4 lawyers calling them around the clock. That's why they're getting a little leverage, a little footing. Can the New York Post post on their Twitter account? Cruz asked. If you go into their account, skirmish Dorsey before Cruz cut him off. No is your answer to that. And I got to watch a commercial. No is your answer to that, fumed Cruz. Unless they juniflect. What the fuck is that? Juniflect. Come on, New York Post. Juniflect. Lower one's body briefly by bending one knee to the ground. All right. Bowing down. Typical in worship or a sign of respect. So unless they bow down and agree with your dictates, that's true. No. You can. It's like no. You can. You don't need a vaccine, but if you want to work for the city, you have to have the vaccine. Or if you can. The bridge. You don't have to cross the bridge, but if you want to cross the bridge, it's $16. That's what they're saying, right? So bow your fucking knee is what they're saying. New York Post is 100% right in this. Besides, it was an honest error. When do they only have? Why do they only happen? Besides, let me start again. Besides, if it was an honest error, why would they only happen on one side? Right. It's not an honest error. That's a lie. Right? So, as Senator Marsha Blackburn noted, Twitter has censored President Trump 65 times and Joe Biden 0. There's a pattern of subjective manipulation of information. Well, the reality is Trump is not allowed to censor his own material. But that's not what they're saying. Twitter censoring the president of the United States 65 times. Why? Because whoever controls the narrative wins. They don't want Trump getting that footage, that foot in the door. So this is a fucked up topic to talk about, man. It's just, it is saddening, that will we live through it? Will we make it to the other side? Will we come out the other side better because of it? Usually, adversity breeds innovation, right? But this is tough. This is a tough one, man. Unless the Congress breaks these fuckers up and makes competition, makes the playing field competitive again, you get watered down garbage. You get propaganda. You get no challenge from common sense. Common sense is shut down. So, nor can Twitter and Facebook, which also moved to suppress. The New York Post's reporting claims that there's anything wrong with the stories. Ask if they have any evidence of that. Dorsey and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg both admit they did not. Some folks think the paper should have just caved immediately and deleted the story. Yet the problem isn't the Post's failure to squelch stories. It's big tech's heavy-handed shakedown. Heavy-handed shakedown, right? What did I call it? I said it's hostile takeover. Really, as far as like content, the creators that they're knocking off, I don't think they really give a flying fuck what happens to those people. People like me, they don't care. They don't care. It's like, yeah, this is our shit, man. We own this motherfucker. So, 1984. Have you read the book? Here's 25 quotes. Let's just have some fun. Let's just have some fun and read. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. There is no 13. I need a fact check. Right? So are we living in the era of 1984, Animal Farm? Are we really there? Was George Orwell right? And he was just a little off in the timing. He said 1984, but it's like it's 2020s, 2030s. Does it break down? Will it ever reverse? Do totalitarian, regimes, corporate America, corporate regimes, do these things ever fail and reverse? Sometimes, but we're not going in that direction. Markets are going up. Profit share is going up among the billionaire class. Everything is going in their favor. Where do you see a turnaround? Common sense says I don't see a turnaround. I don't see any turnaround from this. And one would think, oh, well, somebody has to come along and compete with Google. And I told you, the scenario is that you try to do that, and then they'll find ways to shut you down through hostile takeover. They have so much money and so much power and so much reach. If something innovative comes along, for example, like BitChute, say, oh, BitChute's being censored. What happens is BitChute starts to get some sort of footing in the market, and then Google makes them an offer they couldn't refuse. Right? Whatever it is, shut them down, buy them. They will create problems to with your customers. We'll file lawsuits against you, and that's what these large companies do. Hostile takeover of anybody who challenges them. So you never get your head above water. You never get out. So let's go. Perhaps one of which is some really good quotes. Not merely the validity of this is really good. This is really good. Listen to this quote and tell me we're not there. You tell me we're not there. Not merely the validity of experience, but the very existence of external reality was tactically denied by their philosophy. The hearsay of hearsays was common sense. See, that's what I told you before. I said earlier. And George Orwell had it right. We're just using different terminology. The conspiracy theory becomes the fact, and the fact becomes the conspiracy theory. That's the way the Pentagon works. That's the way the military-industrial complex works. That's the way, politics work in this country right here, right now. Take the conspiracy theory, promote it, and then get all that truth, that fucking people telling the truth, and call it label it a conspiracy theory, so that up is down and down is up. I'll read it again. Having said that, not merely the validity of the experience. So you experience something. I know. It's valid because I experienced it. I watched the Hunter Biden video and decided that this guy's a sleazebag, or whatever. I made it an assumption that he has certain inherent desires, one for smoking crack and the other one for filming himself jacking off, and the third maybe for hookers. Right? That's the validity of the experience. I experienced it, or I go to a rally and I watch Antifa smash windows. That's the experience. So not merely those things, the validity of the experience, but the very existence of external reality. The very existence of anything was tactically denied by their philosophy. Who's they? They is the establishment. That's what George Orwell was trying to say. The establishment and their corporate donors, the corporations, the billionaires. Right? This is the establishment, right? Get your fucking enemy right, man. Know your enemy. Know your goddamn enemy. It's not the blacks. It's not the whites. It's not the Chinese. It's not the Russians. It's none of those people. It's the hierarchy within this country, the power brokers, the money. The hearsay of hearsays was common sense. Right? Don't use your common sense, man, because that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. You can get thrown in jail for that shit. What can you do? Here's another one. This is really good. All reading from 1984, the book. I don't have the book out because I packed everything. So, but it's better. You could see what I'm reading. What can you do, thought Winston. Winston was the main character in the book. Against a lunatic who is more intelligent than yourself, who gives your arguments a fair hearing and simply persists in his lunacy. Whew. Wow. Is that accurate, right? What can you do against the lunatics, right? All the censorship, the people that are censoring out truth, who is more intelligent than yourself. Well, they're intelligent. I would disagree with the word intelligent. They have intelligence, but they use it in a very negative way. One doesn't necessarily have to use intelligence to promote truth. Right? A lot of liars out there, fakes, phonies. Right? So I'm sorry. Let me start again. What can you do, thought Winston, against a lunatic who is more intelligent than yourself, who gives your arguments a fair hearing? They do it on this platform right here. They go, appeal, right, and simply persist in their lunacy, which means they ignore you. They totally ignore you. That's a power grab, man. You go into court and you have evidence, and then they don't look at the evidence. They look at the politics. Oh, no, you black motherfucker. Get your white privilege out of here. Get your white privilege out of here, right? That's the story, right? Now, can the New York State Division of Human Rights find the hospital where that guy attacked my ass, right? Attacked me with the white privilege smear? Can they find that guy and that hospital guilty? Under these circumstances, no. They're going to do exactly what this says, in my estimation. It's unequivocally discrimination, but they won't. I don't think that they'll rule that way, so you'll have to appeal them. You'll have to drive him into the ground, come back at him, counterpunch. I'm not sure. The case is still open. Right? It's still open. It's past 6 months. That's not a good sign. But we'll find out. But what can you do against a lunatic who is more intelligent than you, who gives your arguments a fair hearing? Think about it in terms of courts. They give you, judges are intelligent. They have the ability to learn. And then they become corrupt by the money, just like every other fucking, they're like politicians now. Right? They give your argument a fair hearing and simply persist in their lunacy. Always eyes watching you and the voice enveloping you, asleep or awake, indoors or outdoors, in the bath or in bed, no escape. Nothing was your own except a few cubic centimeters in your own skull. And now they're even working on that, right? Get that shit, right? Get in fucking people's heads, man. There was truth and there was untruth. And if you clung to the truth, even against the whole world, you were not mad. I don't know about that one. You had to live, did live, from habit and become instinct, in the assumption that every sound you made was overheard, and except in darkness, every moment scrutinized. Yeah, that's precisely where we are. Every moment scrutinized. When you talk, this very video is under surveillance, right? Because they use algorithms to try to figure out what exactly you're saying through keywords, through, I don't know, they have sophisticated shit that can tell what you're saying, right? Recorded, not recorded, but interpreted to their own, their own liking, right? So yeah, we are under surveillance, totally. Your worst enemy, he reflected, was your nervous system. At any moment, the tension inside you was liable to translate itself into some visible symptom. George Orwell knew about that stuff, right? The stress, one's stress in the body, one's discontent, one's sorrow, one's fear, one's doubt, right? Translates into visible symptoms. Yeah, it does. It does. I've had someone say, "Oh, you look a little tired today. You look a little under the weather," and it turns out you probably are under the weather because something happened. Right? I don't know, man. So what else? We keep reading these. These are cool, man. I'm loving this shit, man. I love this fucking 1984 stuff. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. We're supposed to become, are you allowed to say this? Are you allowed to call out censorship? Are you allowed to even put it in the title? I don't know, man. We'll find out, right? It's just what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Operate in fear and censor yourself? I don't think so. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Who controls the past controls the future. Okay. Who controls the present controls the past. So if you control the present, you control the past and the future. That's true. That's very true. So who controls the past controls the future. Interesting. But they're all contained in controlling the present. They're all beneath the present. I would agree with that. Let's look at Animal Farm too, man. How's everybody doing in the chat, man? Just that's what this kind of day is right here. There's nothing really going on. It's cold and raining in New York. And censorship is on the fly. Instead of having a massive buzz on YouTube and massive buzz on Facebook and Twitter and social media and everybody coming together to discuss the election and the scandals that are surrounding the election, instead, we have to fight off a bunch of greedy big tech motherfuckers that want to make us go away, that want to control the narrative so they can make a little more money and bury the truth. And that is just the reality of it. That's just the reality of what's going on. See, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal, says George Orwell in Animal Farm. The creatures outside look from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again. But already it was impossible to say which was which. See, that's what happens, right? Remember when the British came over? The British came over to get away from some of these brave soldiers, to get away from England, right? They wanted to get away from England. They wanted to expand the British Empire, so they came to the United States. They, at the time, the Americas, and then one day they want to take everything, right? They think that they own everything, and the people inside say, "Fuck that shit, man! Don't let them take it, man. We work for this shit. We built this mofo, right?" And then there's a war, right? So what Orwell is alluding to is that as time goes on, the British, Parliament and the United States government are interchangeable. There's no real difference. They agree on everything. They're colleagues. They are co-conspirators in the scam to, take over the free world. So anyway, there's no difference, right? The elected officials ultimately become the pigs. They ultimately become the power brokers, and then work with other power brokers. It's the money. Man is the only creature that consumes without producing. That's not really true. No one believes more firmly than Comrade Napoleon that all animals are equal. He would be only too happy to let you make your decisions for yourself. But sometimes you might make the wrong decisions, comrades. And then where should we be? See, if you think about COVID-19, right? We would gladly allow you to make your own decisions about your own health, but what if you're wrong? What if you made the wrong decision? And you have made the wrong decision because we're telling you what to do. The mask, the 6 feet, the high death rate that no one can confirm, the use of ventilators that kill people. We're telling you we're telling you the right decision. So all you have to do is just go along with it. Right? So there's a lot of that shit, man. There's a lot of that shit in here, man. We have trolls today. I'm not paying attention. We have trolls. Who's the trolls, man? Guys deleting trolls. Anyway, man. So what else we got, man? What else we got? So banned conspiracy theories. So this is interesting. Right? People fighting back. You got to fight back a little bit, right? This is Mud, by the way. Mud is it's a coffee shop. It's actually a truck, a coffee truck. Well, I think there is a home base in Lower Manhattan, but Mud is a coffee house. I don't drink coffee anymore because it gives me fucking like a heart attack. So I don't drink that shit. It gives me like my fucking heart is gonna, It doesn't. I don't get edgy when I drink coffee. It gives me like chest pains. Like I don't like feeling like that. There's no reason for it. There's no pleasure. I love the way espresso tastes, but I don't drink it anymore. Banned conspiracy channels are suing YouTube over its anti-QAnon and moderation push. Wow, that's a little fighting back, a little something, right? A little something. YouTube is facing a lawsuit from a group of channel owners who say their rights were violated. Now, just keep in mind all the things we just read from 1984, the prophecy of a totalitarian nation, a prophecy of belittling the people, having the power brokers rise and become more powerful, and everybody else, the serfs or the subjects, get lower and lower on the pole, more equal for them, take away their shit, and let them fight over crumbs. So YouTube is facing a lawsuit from a group of channel owners who say their rights were violated by the platform's recent moderation actions against QAnon accounts. The users, many of whom boasted hundreds of thousands of followers on the platform, are seeking a temporary restraining order to restore their accounts. So you see how Google has effectively stopped them. And they might get a little more footing after this election, but you see how Google just, without asking, like this would have been unheard of when they started. We're just going to deplatform you. They would have lost their whole platform. People just would have walked away. But now that they're so powerful, the sheep are here, right? Half the YouTube community is sheep. They're not thinkers. The thinkers are gone. The thinkers are slowly abandoning ship. The intelligent people, and what you're getting is the equivalent of television in the 1970s, right? You're getting mainstream media. That's what you're getting now on YouTube, and anything that counters that becomes a conspiracy theory, and they try to kick you off. So YouTube's massive deplatforming, which occurred just 3 weeks before the 2020 election, worked to the severe detriment of both conservative content creators and American voters who seek out their content, the complaint alleges. YouTube took this draconian action so swiftly that the plaintiffs received no advance notice and were not able to download their own content. That's exactly what they do. They just yank it, and you can't even get your own shit back, right? Because not everybody records while they're you don't record it. You record it afterwards, or you save it afterwards. Section 320. I didn't read all this, so I don't know what Section 320 is, but 230. Excuse me. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act typically protects platforms from lawsuits over moderation actions. And the law is likely to be a pillar of YouTube's legal defense. Republicans have proposed adding a duty of faith clause to Section 230, which would make it clear, which would make it easier for lawsuits of this nature to succeed. But none of those efforts have made it into law. As a result, the lawsuit's legal merits remain uncertain. So here's the other sad reality, that even if these fine people won, and even if there was a duty of faith clause put into the thing, the law, YouTube will just say you did something else. That's what they'll do. They'll say, "Oh no, we've interpreted the rule that we have, and our interpretation is that you are fucking guilty and we are in the right." And they'll just pick anything. Right? That's the problem. Fighting in courts. This could take years. You know what? You know how long this can take? This could be, in court for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And by that time, everybody loses interest, like the DNC fraud lawsuit. Remember, Jared and Elizabeth Beck in Florida started a lawsuit against the DNC for the Russian narrative that was fake, that was proved to be fake, that the election was rigged against Bernie Sanders. They had the evidence. And it's 2000. That was 2016. Right? We're in 2020. Have you heard about the DNC fraud lawsuit lately? I haven't. It got kicked out. They tried to appeal it, and 4 years later, nothing. You fight the establishment, and nothing happens. Right. So this has been going on for a while. Right. So none of these efforts have made it into law. Reached for comment, Google emphasized its commitment to even-handed moderation. Yeah, whose hand? It's fucking Hunter Biden's hand. We cannot comment on pending litigation, but our policies are updated regularly to meet the new challenges, like harmful conspiracy theories that have been used to justify real-world violence. Now, that's a hell of a fucking line, right? They weed out harmful conspiracy theories that have been used to justify real-world violence. And what are some of those? This is the lawsuit, by the way. What are some of those real-world violence conspiracy theories? Remember this one? Wanted by the FBI, Russian interference in 2016 U.S. election. Remember when these guys, nobody can pronounce their names because they're all Russian. Boris Yakovlevich, Dmitry Severakahakalakalik. So many of these guys were charged with election hacking, and not a single one of them was ever brought to justice. In fact, some of them actually got on planes and came to the United States and said, "I don't know what the hell this is, man, but I'm a plumber." Another guy, fucking, I don't know what this is. Who, me? I'm a school teacher. School teacher, why you tell me I'm conspiracy theory? I don't know what you're talking about. Someone used my name. They used my face. That's me, but that's not me. The whole thing was a scam, right? You remember the Mueller report? Look at just the table of contents of the Mueller report. IRA targets U.S. elections. What fucking IRA? What fucking IRA? U.S. operations involving political rallies. GRU. Right? That's the General Russian fucking Army. Units targeted the Clinton campaign. It says this is Mueller. This is the most elaborate, whimsical pile of bullshit conspiracy theory probably ever written. 400 pages of absolute dick. And every mainstream outlet ran with the story. All of them. The only one who tried to debunk it was Fox. And on and on and on. All of them. Politico, the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC. It's just incredible, right? An incredible amount of bullshit. DC leaks, Guccifer 2.0, right? All of this it's just made up, right? The use of WikiLeaks, right? WikiLeaks, and well, look what happened to fucking poor Julian Assange. He's fighting extradition in a little cell by himself. Solitary confinement, 23 hours a day. That's what you get. Right? If we can't beat you, we'll throw you in jail. We'll shut you up. We'll shut you up. We'll give you some problems to think about. You thought you had problems before? Now you got some serious problems. The point is, the most elaborate pile of bullshit conspiracy theory ever written and promoted and attempted to take down a sitting president of the United States, duly elected president of the United States. Why? Cover their own ass, right? They cheated, right? The Clintons and the fucking John Podesta and Robbie Mook, right? The whole Clinton apparatus, right? Bill Clinton, Obama, Loretta Lynch, Comey, McCabe, remember all those names? Try to rig that election, try to rig the whole thing, got caught, and then blamed Russia. Right? Conspiracy theory. It's Russia. Russia hacked into the DNC and crowdsourced caught them. No. Crowdsource created them. Crowdsource created Guccifer 2.0 and Guccifer. Right? That was just a figment of their imagination. Here's what was I going to say? Yeah, so here's the lawsuit. There is a lawsuit against Google. Right? Plaintiffs against Google. Look at some of the names here. I think it looks like we have Jordan Sather. His name is clear. Jeff Pedersen. I don't know who that is. Sarah Westall. I don't know who that is either. But this one looks like Polly. Right? I'll say that's Amazing Polly. Polly St. George. Is that her name? I don't know. But a lot of them are Christopher Doe, Robert Doe. A lot of aliases being used. Demand for jury trial in California. Suing plaintiff, a Delaware fucking company. So I didn't read this thing, but it's 74 pages. I get the gist of it because I know what it tastes like, right? So there is a lawsuit. Good luck. Right? Good luck. You're in their court. Right? The judges are paid off. Everybody's paid off. They'll drag this shit out forever. And the real backstabber was just to get you to shut up leading into the election. And they've successfully done that. Right? Very, 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 very effective campaign to silence people. Right? So that's that lawsuit. And here's an interesting perspective on conspiracy theories, because that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about conspiracy theory or really just free speech. In the case of, in my case, it's just free speech. I have no conspiracy theory over Hunter Biden jerking off in a room with a hooker and a crack pipe. That's not a theory. That's my eyewitness observation of what's happening. I'm watching the fucking thing, and that's what's happening. Right? So where's the conspiracy theory? There's no conspiracy. That Russiagate. Oh, I'm promoting Russiagate, or because the evidence suggests that the whole story was fake, or Seth Rich. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's pointing out the fact that in most murder cases, there's an extensive investigation into what the fuck happened, and in that case, nothing happened. So again, you see how you can't win because they're so powerful. So here's Glenn Greenwald of The Intercept saying a few things. The two-pronged conspiracy theory that has dominated U.S. politics. This is a while ago, from 2018, and his campaign conspired or coordinated with Russia to interfere in the 2016 election, and Trump is beholden to Russian President Vladimir Putin, was not merely rejected today by the final report of the Mueller report. It was obliterated in an undeniable and definitive manner. So the conspiracy theory that Trump and Russia were in bed and they were going to do something nefarious and Putin was involved was a total sham and a ripoff, a total conspiracy theory. Not a single story was ever fucking edited, censored, shut down. Rachel Maddow went full throat for 2.5 years every night. Every night she was on TV saying Russia, 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 Russia. So anyway, I can't really read the questions right now. I see these questions. Anyway, so the key factor is that Mueller, contrary to weeks of false media claims, did not merely issue a narrow, cramped, legalistic finding that there was insufficient evidence to indict Trump associates. So we remember this, man. We lived through it. We lived through the conspiracy. Kudos to the people putting this, this 74-page lawsuit against Google. That's a lot of words, and I don't really have time to read it, but the essence of it is revealed here. When you look at, for example, why we were censored, why we're on the B channel and not the A channel, and this will probably be shadow banned, right? You won't even, unless you got flagged, you won't even find it. It won't pop up into search engines at all. It's suppressed. Right? So I forgot what I was going to say, so it's almost time to wrap it up. What's up, everybody in the chat? Do I got anything more? It says a Mueller report. Oh, yeah, and then here's the indictment. Oh, so official, so legal. The indictment against the GRU Russian agents and the Russia conspiracy theory. See how they validate the bullshit? Get an indictment. Yeah, indict a couple of plumbers in Russia and a couple of, fucking pencil pushers. And get them, and we'll never go over there and get them. We're not going to go to Russia and get the plumber and say he's a he hacked the 2016 election. We'll just assume that he is. All right, and we got our indictment. See how official it is? Smells real, smells official. So that's the game right now. So anyway, Mark's Conte reporting. So what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for finding us. Right? We're still here. We are here on the B channel. We'll be here for a while until, this channel has no strikes. Maybe the jackoffs will try to strike it. I don't know. But we'll certainly be here for a while. And I even have a C channel. So I hope we don't have to go to the C channel. So anyway, man. So money, says Terry Miller. Yep. Money. He's a Russian plumber, Jason Walsh says. Sterling Price. Another worldview is possible. Arsonist thieves in the streets aren't fighting fascism. I agree. I think that this whole generation has been hoodwinked. They've been hoodwinked. They've been hoodwinked to believe that blacks are the problem with blacks is whites. And the problem with whites is blacks, right? It's just not. It's just not the case. The problem with all of us is a bunch of rich cocksuckers that control the narrative, and we can't wrestle power out of their hand unless we, come together. So anyway, man, Mark's Conte reporting. That's all I got today, man. I'm trying not to be down about it. It's hard not to. It's also the weather. It's a little rainy and cold in New York today. I still got a lot of shit to pack, and I'll be moving along. So I might go down. This might be the last studio version for a few days, and I hope to be up and running by Saturday morning. I hope to have plugged in everything and be up and running, even in a basic way. Maybe a blank wall or something by Saturday sometime. Maybe not the morning, but by Saturday, certainly by Sunday. And then, definitely by Monday. If not, I'll be handheld, walking around in my new place of residence. Okay. I got a nice place, man. I got a lot of space, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sad to leave New York, but all good things have to change. I don't feel, I feel like it's the right thing to do. And now I'm getting very emotional. I'm getting emotional. Right? Let's ask God for let's get some good extra music, right? Something that seems to resonate. There's nothing like chanting the name of God when you're down, right? Or when you're trying to get clarity. Right?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Everybody's coming with me. Both cats. People are asking, "You taking the family with me?" Of course, everybody. We're all traveling. We're all going. Right. The ones that you know about and the ones that you don't know about. Everybody's coming with us.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna